Welcome to the CDO Magazine series honoring Global Power Data Women, class of 2020. I'm Melissa Campbell, the Chief Revenue Officer at Tamer, and your guest host here today with Ursula Catone, who is the Chief Data and Architecture Officer at Huntington Bank. Hi, Ursula. Congratulations and thanks for being with me here today. It's always a pleasure to speak with influential women leaders and also a former Falcon.
Yes.
Well, listen, let's go ahead and get started. I just had a few questions and we'll make this interactive if you'd like. But I'd first of all just like to, in reading your biography, I was super impressed with your background. And I wanted to just understand a little bit about your career, what brought you to data, and how did you end up as the CDAO at Huntington?
Yeah, so after leaving Bowling Green, my degree was in accounting. And I wanted to expand beyond that. I knew I didn't want to be an accountant per se. And so I went back and got my master's with focus in marketing. And as a result of that, ended up, I'll call the first real job I had in a role at American Greetings in an initiative called Stop the Pain.
Oh,
and
wow.
I'm going to say that's been a theme in my career. The idea of the work that I do somewhere between business and technology, I sort of span the two. And just about every role I've had a component of that. How do we solve for some challenges that we're having and put us on a path forward with that blend of business and tech? So if I were to sort of sum up the career, that's probably the way I would describe it. And then after American Greetings, I went to KeyBank. I was there for about 17 years in a variety of roles, which was absolutely invaluable for getting into the data role. Because when we did make a transition to get focused on data at Key, it really was to stop some pain that we were having at the time around some projects and challenges we were having with those projects. And so as a result, we created the Chief Data Officer role there, and I was asked to step into it. Because of the background that I had, I'd worked in just about every business area within the bank and had an appreciation for both the technical and the business of what we were trying to solve for and the challenges that data was posing for the bank. And so that sort of set me off on the data work that I ended up doing. It's from there I was at then Citizens Bank in the same role, a startup for the Chief Data Officer role, and then ultimately coming to Huntington 2 years ago.
That's great. So I love that whole theme of stop the pain. So what have been some of the toughest challenges you've experienced with regards to handling data or in digital transformation?
Believe it or not, it has nothing to do with data. It has to do with people. So most of the challenges that I've had in this type of role has been getting the right level of engagement from stakeholders. At no point in time does anybody argue with the big picture strategy. Everybody wants data. Everybody wants it to be more accessible. They want it to be of better quality. They understand the purpose of the work, right? Of trying to better manage our data and help people to use it more efficiently. The challenge is when then you ask folks to actually engage and do something on their side, because this is not a single person or single team that can make that happen. It really is a group effort that needs to have happen. And as a result, getting that right level of engagement is challenging because they might buy into the strategy, but they don't want to lend their hand at that time. They don't have the resources. They don't have the time. It's not a focus for them. And so ongoing, just making sure that they understand what's in it for them has been by far the biggest challenge, and making that capacity for them to do it, because it does make their jobs easier in the long run. It's just in the short run, there's extra work for them. And so making sure you've got that right level of engagement is the trick.
No, that's interesting. I find that very much so in my world as well on the sales side and running sales for my team.